Okay, well, this is the second time I'm doing this video because it turned off the first time, and so I spent, I did a practice run, I guess. So, what I'm going to do today is I realized I have 3 Chuck Tilbury whistles that I purchased like February, March of 2017, and so you can see them here. And I've got a B flat and a C and a D, and I played the D on my whistle, my 15 or 16 whistle, Soprano D whistle Extravaganza video, so if you haven't seen that and you're interested, you can check it out. And I realized I'd never really recorded a video with these two, so I'm going to kind of do that, and I'm also going to play some of my other whistles. So I've got my other B flat whistle is a Generation B flat, which I've had for years and I really like it. So let me go ahead and play the Soprano D. So, here's the soprano. I'll go ahead and play here's the C whistle. Here's the C, and then the B, no, that's the B flat. That was the B flat. One of the things, they all look the same. I was wondering why I was playing different. So this is the C. that's definitely, of the three of them, the C is my favorite. So, one of the things I noticed about them is all three of them are the same diameter tubing. So if you line them up, he made them all out of the same diameter, so same material. And what it actually ends up meaning is the D is a little bit more of a wide bore D, a little bit louder, ends up being I guess a little bit brighter. It's a touch loud at the top for my liking, but that's most Soprano D whistles, which is why I don't play Soprano D whistles very much. The C, I feel, is kind of in the sweet spot of this particular diameter. It's a little bit easier blowing, really nice high notes. I can play it, doesn't hurt my ears, very responsive, makes me happy. This one is the B flat, and as you kind of noticed probably when I was playing it, I was wondering, that's why I kept blowing on it, thinking, because I thought it was the C, and the bottom note, the bell note on it, is very, very, very soft blowing. So you can't lean into it very much. It breaks really easily, and so this one requires a very gentle touch. It's got a really nice upper octave as a result of being a very narrow bore whistle, and ends up being the same. Like, it looks like on outside diameter it's about the same as a generation, but the thicker material means that it ends up being a narrower bore on the inside. So, and I'll play this one in a little bit. So first I'm going to do the soprano whistles. So here's the Chuck Tilbury again. Then for reference, here's my Carbony. Again, one of my favorites. Here's my Woodstock, aka Sweetone, Clarke Sweetone. I'm going through these fast because I've already done a video on this. My Chris Wall Mark 1. Okay, so next up I have, make sure I get the right one this time. This is the C, Tilbury. Just a note about his current model. I noticed he recently updated them, and what he's done is this one actually has an O-ring in it, and when I got them, all three of them were kind of, you could wiggle the top separate from the body, and I believe it was sealed and everything worked fine, but I didn't like the wiggle, so I actually wrapped it with a little bit of Teflon, that white plumber's tape, and enough to kind of stabilize it so they don't move. I don't have any issues with it, but now what he's done is he's actually, they don't bump out here, he's actually got them, the tubing fitted, so it just slides, and looks a little slicker, and I said less. He says he's probably made some small changes. So if you're looking at these, I would ask him just, you know, if you're looking for a particular characteristic, talk to Chuck, and or send him a question, email, message on Facebook, and ask him, you know, how his whistles play now, or how they're different from, you know, February of 2017. So this is the C again. Here is, so here's I found a Woodstock in C, Clarke Woodstock in C, so that should be like about the same as a Sweetone, but I've never played a Sweetone in C, so. So one of the things that's interesting about this one, I guess it's because of the conical bore. I've heard that there's sometimes are issues with cross fingering of the C natural, or the C natural equivalent. So this one, if I go, the C natural is really sharp to my ears. Even when I put down, normally that'll fix a sharper C natural, so it goes, or C natural equivalent, whatever it is on a C. But it doesn't really. So on this one, I have to put down 4 fingers with just the top and the bottom open. It does. So that gives a pretty good, whatever that note is, C natural equivalent. But I just, like I said, never really taken to it. I don't really want to learn another alternate fingering, because I have other C whistles I can play. But good, it reminds me a lot of my other Woodstock. So let me see. This is my my C body for my Freeman tweaked Mellow D, or Mellow Dog D. Freeman Mellow Dog C body for it. Whistle. I like a lot of C's. C's. I wish that C's were what D's end up being in Irish music. Seems to be a better key. Here's a smart whistle, and I believe that these are supposed to be similar to Susato whistles, and maybe even a straight up rip-off copy of them. But I've never played a Susato. But I saw these on Amazon years ago, and was very curious about it. At the time I was looking for C whistles. And so this one, I just bought it, and I didn't like it at first, but I pulled it out years later and decided, started playing on it, and what it is, it takes a lot more, it's got more back pressure than most soprano whistles. And after I played, it reminded me a little bit of my Goldie Soprano D whistle, in that you need to push it in the second octave just a little bit more, otherwise it doesn't sound good. But after I had played whistles with more back pressure and came back to this one, I actually appreciated it a lot more, and I like it. I apologize if this took sales away from Susato, but it's a nice little whistle. But and I think that they've got some now that are called like Woody, like Woodi, maybe on Amazon. I've seen those. I haven't seen these, so maybe Susato went after them. And but like I said, I could be totally wrong about this. This may be their own particular design. And anyway, here's how it sounds. So definitely my strongest, most powerful C whistle. This is my oak C whistle. Oak. I've got a Waltons. I've got an Ireland. Feadog C. Now this was my go-to C for a long time, and the head's actually cracked right here. It seems to do that a lot, these plastic-headed whistles. But camera keeps cutting out, so this is the Feadog C. I'm recording a video, so I need you to stay over there. Okay. Okay, so the last one I'm going to do is the Tilbury B flat. B flat. Woo. Competing with my son now. Woo. Record a video so they can hear what the B flat sounds like.
I'm working on the rocket.
So the generation, you can lean into the bottom note. It's not really, I mean, there's not a whole lot more back pressure, but the bottom note is more stable. Whereas the Tilbury, it isn't until about there that you start getting more stability, and those bottom two notes are pretty deep. So, and again, it's because it's the same bore as the D and the C. So this is a very narrow bore B flat. Again, it's the same outside diameter as the Generation, but inside it's a little thinner or a little narrower, and it ends up in the second octave of the Tilbury, I like it a lot better than the Generation. It's cleaner, purer, happier, chirpier, more bird-like. It's just more delicate in that first octave. So if you're looking for something, another quiet, mellow whistle, very pleasant sounding, then that B flat might be for you. And again, he's 2 years down the line in his development, so it may be that he's made a couple of tweaks on there. So the only whistle that I didn't do is my Crisp Wall C body, because I couldn't find it. So if I ever get a chance to find that, I'll try to add it to, I'll try to run through that one so you can get an idea of it. But I've looked everywhere and I can't find it. So anyway, I hope this video is helpful, or again, or interesting. Any of those will be okay. So